Hello everybody and welcome to Kit 8, which is the beautiful illuminated robin. Whoops. There's two different ways of doing this, and unfortunately to do the one, if I can just find the other version, which is here, is slipped out, which would have been paper pieced like that, but there are so many tiny pieces to actually put into a kit, it wasn't actually feasible to do it in the kit. But if anybody has got the die, it looks gorgeous done paper pieced. So I'm going to pop that to the side, and these are the new lights. There's only 3 on the string, but they are beautiful because the way you set them, whoops, when I find it, it's just a pressure button. When I find where it is, there. So you don't have any cutting and making little slots like we did on the other lights. Pop that to a side. So in your kit, I will show you, you get your 2 pieces for your robin. You get your light with a battery. You get all your pieces cut, all ready to pop together. You also get, and this is where I've got to apologise, you get this roll of foam tape. Unfortunately, I still haven't been able to get the 2mm, the large rolls that I cut from. On this, you will need to use 2 layers because I didn't realise when I ordered it that it is only a 1mm thickness. But you'll see, as I do the video, you'll see how I do it. These are the 2 lovely dies that I've used. This time you haven't got a cover sheet because we're swapping my computer over, and at the moment I don't have access to it. So until I get it all done, we're just missing the cover sheet on this, but we'll be back to normal next time. But your lovely background, this one here, is JND 456, the circle snowflake frame, and it is gorgeous. Really love it. And the robin is JND 541, the robin branch. And as you can see on there, that one is also done where it's overlaid onto white card, but then it's being coloured with markers. So you've got so many different ways that you can use this die. And then you get the small fronds. Right, let's get down to business, shall we? It's all done on a 7x7 card, which we're doing as a top fold because of the weight. So I'll pop that there like that. And you have in here, in your kit, you have a piece of vellum and a piece of acetate. The reason being, if I just did the acetate, the lights would glare. So by doing it, if you see on here, it just diffuses the lights. Oops, right. It just diffuses the lights, they're not stark. Whoops. So that is the reason why you've also got the acetate. So we're going to start first of all by putting our first 2 mats together, which is the lovely green waterfall card and the white coconut white. Just get my glue going. Actually, no, this going onto the waterfall card, it's better to use a good double-sided tape. And as you know, I use the lovely blue tape because it is beautiful and strong, and it will cling to anything. So just going to do this all the way around, and I can use the glue to actually stick the mats onto the card, but to put the white onto the waterfall card, it takes a little bit too long for the glue to dry, which is not good in a video because you'd be waiting far too long. So do this, just use a little bit in the middle to hold it down, and with my pokey tool, which has got bits on, just going to flick up alternate corners. As you know me, it's my usual trick, which then gives me just that little bit of manoeuvrability before I actually stick it down fully. And take the backing off this, but I am just going to add some dabs of glue just onto this middle bit so it doesn't grab quite so quick. And holding the two corners that have not got the tape turned back, just going to position this so that I can see just where I want to get it positioned right. Whoops, that one wants to go across a bit. That there, like that. And then pull out the covers from the tape. So that there is all nicely stuck down. So we'll now go ahead and stick this onto the card. It doesn't need a lot. As you know, I use the Craft Artist Super Tacky, but any good glue works. So get my card right, and there's only a very narrow border all the way around. Whoops, let's move that across a little bit. That's better. Just press that down, turn it over, and make sure it's stuck. So I'm going to pop that to one side, and we're now going to go on to popping this. Now normally I would just use, whoops, pull that bit off. Normally I would use spray glue because I find that it sticks a lot quicker, but I'm going to use tape, and I'm using the 3mm tape round the outside. And in actual fact, it will give you a little bit of a shadow effect, which is good. And it gives it a different dimension to your card when you've got the shadow. Got a bit of stuff stuck on there. I cut that bit wrong. Let's cut it off before it gets in the way. Oops. And this is a lovely card, and it is quite simple to do, which is putting the lights are a lot easier to do on this, so it does make it a simpler card. But I will be doing another lit Christmas card, not on the next one, not on the next kit, but on the kit after. It'll be kit 10, I think. So I'm just going to work the tape just round the centre of my aperture, and this tape, the narrow tape, it bends lovely, so you know it works well to go around. So just run it round, and once we've got this on, before we take it any further, we'll then actually put the robin together. Now, I would normally use spray glue, but I'm going to show you the way that, for those that doesn't have spray glue, just how we can do it using ordinary glue. So again, going to just turn alternate corners back. And then we're going to position it onto the lovely background. And where is that? And take this right out all the way around. Get rid of that before it gets stuck to everything. So again, the background is cut by using exactly the same die, but without the filigree in, so it fits exactly. I'm just going to pull this all out, and oops, doesn't want to come off, doesn't that? Now here, as you can see, I've just been slightly out, so I am just going to go and take my scissors, and I'm just going to undercut by keeping my scissors at a 45-degree angle. It cuts under your top layer, and I just run that right down until I've got no little bits showing. So there, it's only a narrow little bit, but it would annoy me. So now, as you can see there, that is completely stuck down. So I'm going to pop that to a side and take my robin, because I need the robin to dry fully, which if I'd done with spray glue, it would have done. So just pull him out before I get stuck upon everything. So that is your base piece, and that is the top piece. So what I'm going to do is, I just want a bit of kitchen roll, so I shall need to wipe this off, else it will get onto everything. So I'm just going to put some glue onto my pad, onto my work pad, and I'm just going to dip in all the way around, and then when you're positioning onto the leaves, you sometimes just have to maneuver them around a little bit, just to make sure that they line up properly. So like this one, it's just moves, so that there, roll it round like that. Just want to move him just up a bit. And I'm just going to press down fully on there, so there's just, that one just does not like sticking, so let me just get put some into there. Actually, I'll get a bit of card, I think. Just get a little bit of card. I've maybe just not quite got that enough on there, so that's that. Just slide that across, stick it down. As I say, it sticks a lot better with spray glue, but it does give you more manoeuvrability with the wet glue. So now I need to get rid of that, so I'm going to use a little bit of hand sanitizer, and it will take all the sticky off. So that's got rid of that. So this now needs to just stay drying. I've just got a little bit there that, where's my tweezers? Just a little bit that needs to come out. That's got it. So I'm going to pop him to a side while we go on to this next bit. So what we need to do now is, first of all, we need to pop the acetate on, and that can be done with double-sided tape again. So just going to use the 3mm tape all the way around. You can use 6mm tape, that's no problem. Oops. But as I say, I wouldn't use the wider tape, the 9mm. That would maybe just show, as we need this to be as inconspicuous as possible. So just work round. And as I say, it's not a long card, isn't this, to do, but it's so effective with the lights. I love lit Christmas cards. So again, just the 2 corners. And then we're going to pop this on, and then we'll pop the vellum on top. Oops, come back. Right, so take our piece and just balance it evenly on your card in the centre. And take that out and just make sure it's fully stuck down. So as you can see, if I pop that against something dark, I haven't got anything dark, pop it against that. It's lovely. Right, so now we need to pop the acetate on. The vellum on. So again, oops, got glue on my finger. Again, we need to put our tape just round the outside edge. Make sure it's firmly stuck. And what I will be doing, I'm just going a little bit off the kit for the moment, but over the next month, 6 weeks, if you've got any special requests for kits for next year, if you send them in to me, and I will see whether or not I can actually do them for you. I always like to have new ideas and things that are of interest to you. So if you've got some suggestions, please let me know. So again, make sure it's all stuck down well, and corners off again. Whoa, come on, come off. Come off, that's it. I'm being a bit difficult. And that, and take the other corner off. And again, just let's put this just evenly over the acetate. So this now will give a lovely diffused effect. So what we're going to do now is we are going to now actually add our robin. And all we need to do is pop a bit of glue, actually I'm going to put a little bit of tape in the middle of the robin just to hold it down. Doesn't want a lot. I'm just going to pop that on the back of the robin, and then just going to make sure I've got, whoops, so it's that bottom one, so it's that one and that little one. So I'm just going to add just a bit of glue onto them, and take the tape off the back of our robin. Oops. just moved him now. That wanted to go back. Let me just move that back on. Whoops, come back. That's it. Get my tweezers. Where do I put them? There we are. So I prefer to hold tweezers when I'm doing this, and then I can balance him better. So just want to balance him right in the centre. So that is him now in the centre. We need the robin on first before we can position the lights. So now we've got him on, we're going to start with the lights. Oops. Got the beads there, let me make sure I've got the right. Because I took these out just to check them. So you've got your battery, so you need to slide the battery in. If you see that, not that side, but that side down, and it just slides straight in like that, and then you can just press the button and check that they're light. So we want to stick him on here. So we just take the double-sided tape off and just going to pop that there. So when we come, we'll know that that is where the button is at the bottom. I'm now going to pull the wires apart, and this is where, oh, excuse me, mind my head. Just need to use a little bit of ordinary sellotape to just hold the wires down until we can get it positioned. So I'm wanting the first one, the first light, behind the first lot of leaves. So pop that there. I want to make sure he's just tucked down. So this one now, he's going to actually come across. No, he isn't. I'll get it right in a minute. He's going to, yes, he is, that's right. He's going to come across and onto the, come along the, that isn't it, the branch. Again, just tape it down. Let me get it right. So let me fold it in. So just still taping that down like that. So if you can see, that wants to work just along, hide along the branch. You can see here. And then we're going to pop the light, run it up his tail. And again, on this, I am going to just do a very, very tiny bit of sellotape just to hold him. Oops. Stuck right before I caught it. Just to hold that one down there. So if you can see, that doesn't show on the right side. And so the last one, we need to pop on the other leaves. So on that, I'm just going to run it round, tape the bit up at the top there to hold it, and just hold that here. Whoops. So oops, got that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it over this piece of navy card, and if you think, oh, I can't see it behind him, ease that up a bit. So this is where you can see, if you can see there, there's just shining from behind him. That one shines behind there, and that one shines behind there. So you can adjust them at this point, but obviously once you get them put together, you would struggle. So this is where you want to just position them where you think you're going to get the best effect when it's finished. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of tape here. That should hold that. So now we're going to pop the foam tape in. And as I say, I am so sorry that this is only 1mm tape, but there's plenty on the roll. This is what, when I did the sample card, this is what I had left. So I know there's plenty to do it. So what you do is you start, just butt it up. You can see there, just butting up to the power pack, battery pack there. It just needs to go. Don't go over the battery pack because you will need access to get at your battery to change it. So then we just work all the way around for one layer. And just around all 4 sides, but making sure you leave the battery pack clear. So on this one, just going to run it from there up to there. And then I'm going to take off the top covering. Oops. Let me just turn that off. Take that off and then put a second layer on top of the first one. As I say, if I'd realised at the time when I ordered it that it was only the 1mm, I would probably have waited. But some of the brown covered tape that I've got, some of the backing's coming off, and it's not that easy to pop that when it's like that into a kit. So I thought that this was probably the better choice at the moment, because it doesn't need a lot of foam tape on, doesn't this? And let's pop this, whoops. And the last piece on here, we will put some little support pieces just on the corners. But as you can see, I've done this and I've still got some left, and I've done 2 cards with this. So to put the support pieces in, take a piece of the tape, fold it over, fold it in half like that. And don't drop it like I was going to do. And just come out a minute. Cut that off and just take the backing off of one piece. Whoops, didn't want to come off, didn't that? Come off. May you get it off. There. So just taking off one side, then I'm just going to lay it at the side, not right on the edge of the circle, but just coming up to it so that it just gives that support. So do the same again and just flick the backing off, which it doesn't always like to come off. And that's got that. And again, just, I would say to within maybe 1/4 of an inch of the corner. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this separately. It might be easier to get the backing off. Whoops, didn't want that. And it's quite sticky as this, so I think that's why it doesn't like coming off as easy. And again, just put a double layer on. And on this one, it's going to just have to be, whoa, I've got it stuck to me everywhere this time, look. That's it. So I'm just going to have a tiny little bit here, just at this point here, just to support it. And, oh, when it wants to come off. But you'll probably take a little bit more care as you're taking it off. So there again. So I'm just going to pop that there. And I'm going to put a tiny little bit just on the robin. No, I won't, because it might just confuse, might take some of the, I think, what am I trying to say? Take some of the light away from it. So I'm going to pull all that off and get the cover off that one. Doesn't want to come off. That's got it, it's split. And I'm taking only the corner bits off like I normally do on these, the main pieces, so we can balance them out. Whoops. Just pop them all around like that. I'm going to pop just a little bit of glue onto the inside ones so they don't grab so quick. And oh, doesn't want to come off, doesn't that? Come off. That's got it. Okay, yeah. Very, very sticky. I don't know whether it's because it's been so warm in here that everything seems really sticky. But again, just some dabs of glue on these inner ones, just so that they don't grab. Now, this point, make sure you've got your card the right way and that you've got your battery pack down, and it should be down on the bottom right. So then you want to just position it like that. So there's only a narrow border of white. Oops, it doesn't want to come off, doesn't that? Yeah, that's got it. And then we're going to put the beads on. So what you can do now is just check, and so we know it's about there. So as you can see there, so what we're going to do now is we're going to pop the beads on. But be careful because they are so tiny. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little cap. I'm going to tip them into there. And we're going to pop the puppy's eye in first, the black one. Oh, just be careful as you open these little bags because they are a little bit tough to open. Right, so I've got that, and I'm going to get my little picky up tool and get my small glue. It's easier to position. So his eye is pretty much, whoops, in line with his beak, just behind his beak. So just pop a little bit in like that. Find the black bead and just sit it on. And then we're going to pop all the polyberries on, the little red ones. Just put a little dab of glue in all the spaces and just carefully position your holly berries. And just work around, and there's just one more that goes there. So I think think that one actually belonged to the sample card, so I'll leave that there for the moment. So that is the one we've made today. And this was the sample card, which was, oops. So I hope you enjoy making this card. You can, if you wish, add some crystals into the centre of the bigger snowflakes. I didn't bother on this, but if you wish to do so, please do so, and please share your videos. Listen at me. Share your cards when you've made them, and I look forward to seeing them all. And I'll see you on the next kit, which will be the beautiful circle snow scene. So take care, enjoy making this card. See you then. Bye.